buenas tardes, buenas noches, buenos días, whatever time you're going to be listening to this. This is Xochitl, also known as Connie, and this is, estamos ahorita en our show de Café, Chisme, Revolucion y Que. It's been a good minute, but it's good to be back finally. I was just letting my brother Paul here, the Quetzalcoatl Band, know that I am so rusty. It's been quite a while that we've been interviewing and just having our show kick off, really, because there's been so much going on. But this afternoon we have, because it's afternoon today here, Saturday, in, where are we at?
We're in Riverside, aka Jurupa Valley.
That's right. And that was my brother, Paul, also known as
Zipaki Nezahualcoyo.
the Quetzalcoatl Band. So, ¿cómo estás? How are you?
Doing good, man. I mean, we woke up another day. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers and sisters didn't make it, didn't wake up. So, blessed day and enjoing the love Tlaloc is providing us with.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I mean?
¿Tienes aquí otro integrante of the band?
Yeah, this is, go ahead. What's your name?
Efrain Vizcaino.
Nice. Good to have you guys on here. And it's good to be back in the studio. It's a good feel. I love this. I love the studio feel, the radio industry, the whole feel of being in front of the mic. So let's get started. When was the last time we had a show?
Oh, shit.
With me and you guys? A year? More?
It's been like a year.
Yeah.
It's been like a year. The last time we had it was over there at by the park, where the studio was at the park, like a bungalow.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I think that's the last time.
Right.
And, I think Jesse brought his drums. We performed a little bit.
Right. Oh, yes, I remember that. So what have you guys been doing? So we're going to be kind of jumping around a little bit. So right now, what have you guys been up to?
Well, we've been working on new music more than anything. And, we just are getting ready to release the new album. The name of the album is TLAZOHCAMATI. And this is our third long disc play. So, we're really proud of it. We kind of got it done fast. It's probably the fastest we've ever gotten a project done. Before, it took us, 8 months, 10 months. And this project, probably got it done in about 4 months. It was pretty quick.
So we'll go over it later, but in more detail. But so far, I see there's about 13 songs.
Right. So 3 of those songs came out last year as singles, like the Wolves, como los Lobos.
Oh yes.
The other song was
I Am He, no?
I Am He. Thank you. And the last one we released was the Trail of Tears. So those 3 are included in this album. So really, the new songs are the other 10. Okay. But we wanted to put those 3 songs to put them in part of the album. But yeah, so it's been pretty easy. It's Jesse still the drummer. We have a new bass player. Efrain Vizcaino's the new bass player. And then we have also, Denise on trumpet, myself on guitar, and keyboards and vocals. So we have a new keyboard player. He's not on the album yet, but we have one, and his name is Fernando Diaz. And, Denise on the trumpet, and my son Tristan on the congas.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so he's on the album too, playing congas, as well as other people that have been in the band at one time or the other. They're in the album too, helping out. So
this is what number album?
3, the third one.
Is it up on the Spotify and stuff?
No, the album right now we've released 2 singles, "The Blood of Moctezuma" and "Reina de Santa Fe." You can listen to those on our website, www.quetzalcoatlbandmusic.com. And the whole album will be available on all social media platforms beginning Cinco de Mayo of this year. So we're probably a little bit over a month away from that.
So let's start, so we talked briefly on the new one. Let's start from the beginning. tell us a little bit history of the Quetzalcoatl Band.
All right, so Quetzalcoatl really started in 2015 is when I had the idea of forming the band. And my idea was to create a fusion with, the music that we grew up listening over here, hip hop, or rap, rock, cumbia, norteño, mariachi, all that stuff together. But I wanted to add more of a tribal feel to some of the songs, or majority of the songs, but using more the context of Aztec beats and rhythms. Because I myself, I've heard indigenous music, from South America all the way to North America, but I never heard it in the context of popular music. So I wanted to bring that to the forefront of popular music and mesh it with, melodies and all the new instrumentation that we have at the, in the present time.
Right.
So that was the goal. The band really formed and got a foothold in 2016 with the original members of the band, which was five of us at the time, and we've been going on since.
Yeah. And throughout all those years, where have you guys played and traveled?
Yeah, so we've played San Diego, we've played all around LA, we've played in the Inland Empire, we've played in Tijuana and Mexico City.
Nice.
Yes.
How was Mexico City?
It was great, man. It was great. People were kind of weirded out over there. They were because they don't even have something like that over there. Even the shows that we went to on the radio over there, they would tell us, well, since we have everything here, we kind of take it for granted. But because you guys are over there, you guys probably yearn for that connection. But over here, Mexican people, we really just go on about our lives. We don't really visit the pyramids, or it's whatever to us because it's here.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good point. Sometimes when you have those things nearby, you take those things for granted.
Like the beach for us.
Like the beach for us, But yeah, when we went, we had a great time. We had some great conversations because they were kind of well, why are you using this? This is from over here. So we had to even kind of educate the interviewers about what they were saying because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's over there, but this whole land is connected. We're all together. No matter if you're a native from Alaska or a native from the tip of South America, we're still all brethren,
What was their take on the fact that you guys named the band Quetzalcoatl?
Yeah, they were why Quetzalcoatl? That's a big name that means it carries a big weight within our mythology. And I was well, I thought it would make a first impression. Quetzalcoatl, the mythos behind it is, well, there's two mythos, right? There's the man, and then there's the serpent, right? The myth of the man is a man came to the land and introduced the natives to agriculture and showed them other ways to flourish with art and architecture and all of that. But then there's always also the duality of the myth of the serpent, feathered serpent, right? And if we remember correctly, the mythos of the man was that he left in shame, right? Because he got tricked by his brother, and he even had sex with his daughter, I believe. And because of that, he left. He went to the ocean and left in shame, promising that one day he would return.
Wow.
He got fooled with pulque, and he ended up copulating with his daughter.
Wow. I think I had heard that, pero se me había olvidado la historia. Yeah.
Yeah, the brother was
Tezcatlipoca?
Tezcatlipoca.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So that, and we also, with Quetzalcoatl and his brother fought Zipacli to create the earth that the people of the fifth sun, because there were other iterations before that, right? But there was problems, like some were made out of clay, some were made out of mud or whatever. But once Quetzalcoatl and his brother defeated Zipacli, they created the world and the universe, and they created another group of race, which would be the people of the sun, right? The fifth sun. So back to your initial question, we felt that carried a lot of weight and significance.
Right.
And people would inquire why. Well, the first thing in education is making people curious. So if they don't really know, or they heard about it, or when they were kids, they heard their grandfather or their grandmother or their older people talk about it, but they really weren't interested. Now they might be like, why that? And now we can go ahead and hook them and bring them into the story, into the myth, and hopefully gain for them a connection back to the roots. Because sometimes I feel that we've come so far in technology and society speaking that we forget where we come from.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So you'd be surprised the people who I talk to, and they're like, I'm Hispanic, okay, but where do your roots come from? I don't know. You don't know, like, how can you not know?
Right.
That's like crazy. That's like one of the most important things that make us who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard, that's a big, how could I say, if you don't know who you are, and you don't know where they say you don't know where you're going, then if you don't know that, right? So, another question I have as far as like the name and the name pronunciation of Quetzalcoatl, sometimes there's some argument over that, or like the corrections of how you say it. I've heard Quetzalcoatl, and then there's Quetzalcoatl.
There we go. First off, I want to say that I really don't know. In my opinion, my humble opinion, we really don't know exactly how the people then would have pronounced it, right? I mean, I grew up reading the history of Mexico with my dad teaching me and helping me read some of the Nahuatl words on there. And my dad always pronounced Quetzalcoatl. He always pronounced it like that.
Yeah.
As I grew up, I met people that said, oh, the T is silent. You don't pronounce it. It's just Quetzalcoatl. So I really don't know. I've seen documentaries from like the History Channel, the Latin American version, where they're talking about that. And the professors from UNAM, they call him Quetzalcoatl. So
I've heard both.
So I think really when we get into a conversation like this, it's kind of futile because we weren't there. And if we remember, or if we keep track of, language is a living entity, meaning that language is constantly evolving. So the way even we speak English, right, because of the colonization and because we're in the United States, but the people that speak English, even if they're European Americans, born in the United States, and their ancestors are from England, from the Mayflower, let's just say, they don't speak English the way they did.
Right.
Because English has evolved.
Correct.
With new words that have been introduced into the lexicon, TV shows, products, technology, and new words have been created, and new words have adapted to mean other things other than what they used to mean.
Like our Chicano Spanish.
Right, like our Chicano Spanish, and like Nahuatl. I'm sure that there are people that speak Nahuatl, right?
Yes.
But they don't speak it the way our ancestors spoke it in 1325.
We didn't hear them.
And I'm sure like any language, Nahuatl has been evolving with the times. And it's such a blessing to even have it still existent when there are many languages that have not made it through. If we think about what has happened regarding colonization, enslavement, rape, and the constant, and I say constant because it's even still happening to this day, the constant effort of others to try to erase that from us. And unfortunately, I'm going to include not just quote unquote what we assume or think of as colonizers, but sometimes it's some of our own people that try to put it underneath the carpet, the rug.
Yeah.
They don't want to
Sure.
admit that they're connected to indigenous people of this land.
Right.
You know?
And well, we really got into the history of that, which is a good thing
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you know, since we're asking about the name and the history of you know, the band, it's good to put two and two together because it's not just a name that was slapped on. You know, it was picked for a reason. It was chosen for a reason, and it's good that the band knows the meaning behind it, right? Since they're going to be using it because it's something meaningful and it's something big, like they said, you know, it carries a big weight. So good, good. Moving forward, let's talk a little bit more about the albums, about what kind of songs are in them, why you chose particular songs, and I know that I have my favorites, but there's this uniqueness about your guys' bands that you guys play. Geez, a variety like there's hip hop in there, there's cumbia, there's like gosh, what else?
Salsa.
Like salsa, yeah, like salsa. Like there's just a variety, and that's what's so nice about this music, the Quetzalcoatl Band. Let's talk about some of the songs that you just pick them randomly and just tell us why you chose those certain sonidos, you know? Like let me give you an example. Like I remember when you guys were gonna put the song, you guys were working on the song Gallo. And you told me about why you were putting these certain sounds in it, and I was just, I couldn't even picture it, but I was so excited to hear the song because it turned out to be an amazing song.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when it comes to songwriting, for me, you know, I can only speak on my end, right? Every musician, every songwriter, they have their own way of doing things. But I'm a true believer that we don't really write anything. It's already in the cosmos, it's already in the atmosphere. We just need to connect to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We just need to grab it in the right frequency, and then this vessel is just a conduit to bringing that music out, right? So
Your first album.
the first album, La Catrina, I mean, for example, La Luna, I was sitting down and I was like, I want something that sounds very driven.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to really use African sounding drums. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what's prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like, if you listen to any music that's out, it's influenced by European and African music, but usually the beat is African.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes from. And even in cumbia, it's an African beat. But I wanted to kind of get away from that and put in more like indigenous from, you know, that era, Mesoamerica, that pre-Columbian time.
Okay.
So that's why, you know, I kind of felt that timing, which is not usually a lot of popular music is 4/4.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time signature of the song, which is 4 beats per measure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's how you could do like, you know, like a hip hop beat or a rock beat, like,
Okay.
right? But what we did with those songs, they're 3/4. So that's what usually is considered like 3/4 or 6/8, which people usually think of like waltzes, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we kind of go 6/8 and make it more like dun, 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 dun. And when you add the drums, it gives you that feeling of you know, more indigenous, more
Mhm.
native to this land. And then we just overlay, you know, all the other instruments, whether it's the guitar, the bass, the congas, you know, the timbales, and then other instruments like the turtle shell, the rain stick, the ayoyotes. You know, those are the ones that, you know, a lot of the Aztec performers use on their ankles,
Right.
but we use it like with our hands, you know. So it was important for me to incorporate all those other instruments because people don't usually use them. You know, it's not something that it's common. But I think once you hear the complete song, like sometimes I'll write a song, but I don't really hear it. But once I get together with the band and we start adding all the layers, it sounds like what I think has now become the Quetzalcoatl sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's pretty much recognizable now if you're a fan or if you heard us before, what's that Quetzalcoatl sound.
Correct. Right. So, let's see. I'm trying to think of the other album after La Catrina.
That was the Rise of the People of the Sun.
That's right. That one, I know La Catrina, you guys did a couple of videos on that one, right?
Right.
A couple. But the second album, you guys did a few more videos on that one, right?
We did Mother Earth.
Mother Earth.
We did La Llorona.
Xochitl.
And Xochitl.
Yes.
3.
The next album after that, you guys haven't done any after that, right?
No, so we're planning on doing some videos for this album.
Okay.
So we're just we're gonna start on that project, the video project, after the album release party, which is in May.
Now, I know that, I'm sorry, your name again?
Efren. Vizcaino.
I know you're kind of a newer band member, so what's been your experience in the band so far? Because this is my first time meeting you, and I've been a fan of Quetzalcoatl for quite, 6-7 years, I think? Yeah,
Since we began.
Since we started. So, how has your experience been being in the band? You're the bass player, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the bass, and I do background vocals.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was in a band with him before, so
Okay.
we
You have history.
we definitely have a chemistry.
Okay.
Because one day he told me, you know, you wanna be in the band, and I checked it out and I was like, nah, that's not something I want to do. That's not something I want to do. That's a big change from, you know, the burning bed, you know. And he's like, why not, dude? Like that's our ancestors or whatever.
What kind of band were you guys in before?
It was like a rock alternative.
Oh, okay.
English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, nah. And then I was having all kinds of problems or whatever, so I just didn't.
Okay.
Didn't want to add more to the fire.
Right.
So I was like, nah, dude, that's not something I'm interested in, whatever, you know. And then, like, I was going through a tough time, whatever, and, you know, he asked me again, he's like, you know, hey, do you wanna try out for the band, dude? The bass player left, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, man. He's all, you know, the only person I could think, you know, we have tryouts. You can try out or whatever. And then my brother, he saw that he put the ad up. So my brother was like, hey, Paul put the ad up for his band.
Yeah.
And I was like, I called him and he was like, so you want to do it now or what, dude? I was like, yeah, why not? Fuck it, I'm not doing anything. You know?
So it was right timing. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and he was like, all right. And then he just, like, I just came over and then they just started jamming and it was just instant chemistry.
So how long have you been in the band now?
Me, months, no? Like 3, 4
Oh,
months. 4
oh,
months.
okay. So very recently.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you like it so far?
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like, you know, like cumbias and stuff like that.
Okay.
But he does.
It's growing on to
It's
you.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
Nice. Well, I think it's good to try new things, and it's good that you took on the challenge.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah. He said just dude, I already know you're gonna get it, man.
Yeah.
Just come in. Just come in and start playing, dude.
Yeah.
Just listen or whatever, and then he would tell me the chord changes, and then, oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that it's working out, and it's good to have you part of the family.
Thank you.
So what's next? What's next in the what plans do we have in the future? We already said some videos are coming up.
Yep, we're gonna do some videos for the singles like The Blood of Moctezuma, Reina de what is it?
Santa
Reina de
Fe.
Santa Fe. For Somos Más, that's another song, and then The Eagle and You Are the Eagle in the Mountain. That's another song. Maybe four or five videos.
Okay.
So half of the new lot of songs, we're probably looking at doing half of that.
Okay. I really like that Reina de Santa Fe.
That's pretty catchy. That one
I
is
like
actually
that one.
we played it at one of your shows when you were doing the show at the Garcia Center. We played
Oh
it
yeah.
with when Dino was still here.
Yes.
Yes, we played it with the acoustic guitars.
Mhm.
So that was the premiere. Or what?
Yeah, I mean we hadn't even recorded it then, and actually that one's written by Dino.
Yes, I think you guys had just came out with it. The
Right.
song, yeah.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
said we're gonna play one that we've been working on, and we did it. Dino was like, "Hey man, I've been listening to the songs, and I really like your style, so I kind of wrote a song like that." And I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh shit, shoot it!"
It was dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he showed it to me. He just like, I'm missing some lyrics,
Mhm.
so I added some lyrics,
Yeah.
and then that was it. We were done. We brought it up to the rest of the members, Jesse and Anomaly when he was playing with us, and it meshed. We got the song done, but a lot of things were happening. There was a lot of changes that were happening with the band members, and
So
all of that.
speaking of that, what has changed since? Like, what members do you are mostly all of them? I know you already kind of named a few, like your son. I think I've seen your son be in the band for like maybe the last year or so.
yeah,
And then, well, Anomaly he's doing his own thing now.
Right.
He has his band. And then I know we have Jesse, the drummer.
right.
And then who else? Keyboard.
Denise on the trumpet, Denise Dominguez on the trumpet, on the keyboard, Efren on the bass, Efren Vizcaino on the keyboard. We've just rehearsed with them a couple of times. It's Fernando Diaz.
Okay.
And then on the timbales,
Okay.
Frank Martinez.
Right.
And so right now it's 6 of us, I think.
And let me go back to the Denise, the trumpet player, right?
Right.
She's amazing. I'm a big fan of hers in particular because the sounds of all the tribal instruments coming together with rock and then she throws in that trumpet, it just gives you like this extra like oomph, to the
Right.
song, and you really feel it. Like for some reason, like it just gives me the no doubt. Remember the band? She kind of gives you a little bit of that feel for that genre, right? The what is it? Ska.
Like
Ska
rock,
yeah. So I just wanted to throw that in there, but wow, that's quite a bit of band members there.
Well, if you remember the original lineup of Quetzalcoatl, we had a trumpet player. Remember, Boris was the conguero.
Yes,
and the trumpet player.
but he left to
But he
Argentina.
left to Chile.
Oh yes,
Went back to Chile.
next door.
So next door. But I mean, that was the original thing when I was listening to the music in my head when I was barely forming the band.
Right.
I already knew from the get-go that we wanted a trumpet. I wanted it to be guitar, keyboard, trumpet, bass, drummer, and a percussionist. So from the get-go, I already heard trumpet in the music.
Right.
But the only difference now is with if you listen to La Catrina, there's a lot of trumpet in there, but it's more of a lead instrument in that era of the band. We used the trumpet as the lead instrument. So some songs had lead guitar in it, like Requinto, lead guitar solo, and some songs had the trumpet solo. Now, the difference now with Denise is that we were incorporating the trumpet more she still does some soloing in the albums, but the the trumpet now is also used as an accompanying instrument, just to add more filler to it, you know. Because, like, for example, there's a song on the new album Mujer that has a trumpet solo, but throughout the song there's trumpets, you know, like throughout the song there's trumpets to fill up the song. The same for the You Are the Eagle in the Mountain, that has a lot of trumpets in it. Somos Más, a lot of trumpets.
The trumpets is what gives it a more of a salsa feel.
Right, trumpets, more like a sonora. Like if you listen to La Sonora Dinamita,
Yes.
they have a lot of trumpets, but a lot of times they're not doing leads or solos. They're just like in the background filling. That's what there's more of with Denise now in this this new evolution of the band. Yeah, so that's the way the trumpet is not just working as a solo instrument, but as support for the band in the background.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to. Actually, I kind of forgot, but I'm in a couple of your.
You are.
I'm in a couple of your albums.
You're in the videos. You're in the videos too.
I think 3.
You're in Xochitl. You're in Mother Earth.
And no, I helped with La Llorona.
You helped. You were there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were there. That was a crazy night.
Yes, very. But I'm also the voice of one of your. What is it?
Yeah.
Mexicayo. And then
that's the intro to the Rise of the People of the Sun.
Yeah.
You're reading a poem.
Yes, that Jesse wrote. I was reciting it. Yeah, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, you did a great job. People sometimes don't really, every art has its, like we say in Spanish, su movida.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same thing with every instrument. It's easy for somebody to say, man, that guy in the congas is just hitting that. Que eso no tiene nada, pero sí tiene.
Mm-hmm.
Tiene its thing.
Yeah.
You can't just get on there and I can do it, because you can't. The same thing with reading poetry, with doing your own feel to it.
Right.
You got to know how to do the cadence, what word to emphasize, and I remember even when we were recording it. I don't know if you remember. You were like, "What if we switch this? We switch this word or whatever." Those little things are important.
Yes.
And people don't realize the importance of it, even with spoken word.
Right. Yeah, we did. We did change it up, even though it was, someone's poem that was written. Certain words had to be changed for certain reasons, so it was just for like accuracy and appropriateness, of course.
Right.
But I remember it was a lot of fun to have been part of it and actually participating, But what I had the most fun was doing the sounds, helping with the sounds.
Yeah.
Because it throws in like the sound of an eagle, I think.
The wind, the eagle.
And then the coyotes. Yeah. And then was that a last minute thing?
Yeah.
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 And we was Anomaly, yourself, and I. We howled like coyotes. And a lot of people will never know that it was.
But when you hear that back, it sounds like real coyotes.
It does.
You're like, if you didn't know that it was us doing it, you wouldn't know. But that just goes to show you that. I mean, it's great that we have evolved, right? Mm-hmm. We're not cavemen. We're not living in the swamps or anything, and we've learned, well, quote unquote, we think we've learned to control our anger, our jealousy, our need to procreate, right? But at the end of the day, we still have a lot of our animal instincts with us, and I think that was a proof when we were doing it, because it wasn't like, we did it like in 2 takes. It was quick.
What, the sounds of the
coyotes?
Oh yes, we did. Yeah, we thought it was kind of goofy and funny, but once we heard it, like actually recorded, we're like, oh my gosh, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, man, we had fun, and you know what? Just to let you know, there's gonna be more things that we're gonna be doing, like the moving forward after this album. We're actually working on a new song that Jesse and I co-wrote, And that one's gonna be recorded, and that's gonna be released as a single as soon as we're done with this promoting this album. But on top of that, the next project is we're gonna be doing some collabs with other artists, and I think I'm looking forward to that just because it's gonna just bring an insight to, especially if these other artists are solo artists, to how we work as a band, and it's also gonna give us insight onto how other people work their craft, right? Because everybody does it differently.
Right.
You know, some people, I'm learning right now that I'm in talks, some people are like, well, let me go to your studio with my acoustic guitar and you and I will work something together and then we can bring it to the band. And some other people are like, nah, dude, I'm totally down to just come in and jam something out with the band.
Yeah.
So it's just different how people are comfortable
Right.
dealing with the art. You know, so that's in the works. And I have another thing in the works that I'm planning to do. It's gonna be like a spoken word thing. And that's gonna be also collabs, but more than anything, it's gonna be like no music. It's just gonna be the spoken word artist speaking.
Nice.
You know, because I think although music is great, or having flutes and drums or whatever behind the spoken artist, but I think there's nothing as beautiful as the rawness of what that artist is trying to get across, and when it's just them and the microphone and their instinct and feeling, I think that is very powerful because it's raw.
Right.
There's nothing distracting you in the background. It's just their voice and the way they're feeling and expressing that moment of that word. You know, it kind of makes you cling to that, you know?
Right.
So that's another project that I'm going to be putting together soon too. That'll be obviously released under Obsidian Rising Records. But yeah, those are some of the other things we're planning to do.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Obsidian Rising Records because I remember being part of the
Discussion.
Yeah, the initiation of the Obsidian Rising Records. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
You named it.
yeah, you know that has a history behind it. I have a friend who passed away a few years ago. Asun Papushuat. He passed away of bad health, and he was one of my best friends. And he was Chuk Maya, and he taught Maya the Chuk language because there's like hundreds of Maya languages, but he has a YouTube channel. So if you ever come up with Obsidian, what's it called, Rising, that's his channel. And so it was kind of like a
Homage.
Yes, and I'm sure he would have been very honored because he felt very strongly about our culture, about our, education, and bringing awareness about our languages not being lost and whatnot. So yeah.
That's beautiful, dude. Yeah, I mean, things like that are precious, and holding those memories and moving forward with them and putting them in another aspect to be shared is the best thing to do.
Yeah, it's been really nice to be a part of this music industry and being a part of your guys' family and the records, and just playing some kind. I know I'm not a musician or anything, but just playing a part in with you guys when you guys have gigs and whatnot, like going to your guys' performances or hosting something or doing something like this, interviewing, whatnot. So this is me also, I'm not just a brown beret, I'm not just a danzante. This is also a part of me, so
Right.
something that I'm very, very proud of. So just so you guys are aware out there, if you're watching on my Instagram page live, that's what we're talking about right now. So what is the next performance or big, even if it's small, what is your guys' next event you guys have planned?
Yeah, so we have an event called Raíces. It's going to take place at Bricks Bar in Maywood, California. And we're going to be playing there April 19th. That's a Friday. We're going to be playing with, a bunch of ska bands. We're like the only, well, there's I think a cumbia band in that set too. But we're excited to play. I mean, we played there last year. One of our promoters, brothers, that's all about La Raza, he reached out again to us. This will be our second time playing at the Bricks in Maywood, and it's a great event. It's they're gonna have Aztec dancers. They're gonna have vendors selling cultural items, and se pone bien caliente. It's a lot of people. If if anybody's aware of the Bricks Bar in Maywood, and it's a pretty popular spot for local bands, and it's a great honor to play there again, because it's a lot of great bands that are popular in our area have performed there, and just being part of that family, part of that movement, it brings us our heart joy.
What about the Cinco de Mayo one?
Yes, and then we have our album release party. That's gonna be actually 4 de Mayo, the 4th of May. That's gonna be a Saturday. That's gonna be at the Garcia Center. We're gonna have a lot of bands there. We're gonna have a host, Two Souls from Two Souls on Fire is gonna be hosting.
Yes.
There's gonna be spoken word artists, Diosa Xochitl Quetzalcoatl. There's gonna be let's see here, Paola Gutierrez.
Yes.
There's gonna be I'm sorry, some of the names. There's just so many. Brenda
That's right.
Vaca. Brenda Vaca is gonna be performing. Héroes del Sol, Anomaly Productive, Bad Boys Dance Party, and us, Quetzalcoatl. There's gonna be Aztec dancers. I want you to talk a little bit about that as well, and the Ballet Folklorico.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be Danza Azteca of our Grupo TLAZOHCAMATI. And also the Brown Berets will be there, of course. And then this is at the Garcia Center in San Bernardino. If you guys are familiar with San Bernardino, it's on East Street.
Yes, that's
Yes,
correct.
it's on East Street. So just look up Garcia Center in San Bernardino. It'll come up. It's a really cool place. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I
And
think it's
then-
gonna be awesome. I think
And we need vendors.
we need
We
vendors.
need vendors.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, we have a couple
thank
already in the
you.
works, but we do need some.
So it'll be May 4th, Saturday at the Garcia Center. So if you guys know of any vendors that are interested, let them know.
Yeah, just let them know to reach out. They can send a DM to us on Quetzalcoatl IG page. They can, I encourage them to reach out to Two Souls on Fire on her IG page, so that she's the one in charge of that aspect of the
Right.
event. But yeah, man, I'm super excited, not just to play the songs live, but just to share in that sense of community, because we haven't had a gig in a while. Well, we had one a little bit ago, but it was a small acoustic setting. So this time we're gonna have the full band, all the instruments, and I think that's what that's the best way to showcase Quetzalcoatl, to have the full band. I mean, if it's only me, Efren, and conga
Jesse.
player or Jesse, I mean, it's good. The songs are good. They speak for themselves. The lyrics have content, but nothing like having the full band, to where you can hear all the different instrumentations going on.
Yeah, it's so much more to it.
Right.
So before I ask you this last question, I wanted to just point something out because I thought this was hilarious. You guys shared it on our chat the other night. I was just dying. And I'm not even in a band, but, well, I have been, but I watch bands a lot. And I noticed from just observing when several bands play at a gig, right? And it's time for your band to get off the stage. I noticed that either some bands are just like lagging it, and then there's some bands that are like, in chinga trying to like hurry up and get off. I thought that was hilarious. So can you, like, before we end, any last words, and what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it depends, right? It depends. I'm gonna keep it real. Some bands just don't give a fuck. They're like, you tell the band this is a 45-minute set, and they go an hour, and they don't give a fuck. And then they're like congratulating themselves on stage because they fucking did a great job. And they're saying hi, hey, what's up, everybody? Like, and they're You know, and then there's those other bands that only one or two of the members están como tú dices, like en chinga cleaning up,
Yeah.
and the other guy,
The
the
ones
singer,
are taking
the
their time.
vocalist. You know, there's those bands that have vocalists that the vocalist doesn't play anything. They just sing. But you know, I'm not putting him down. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But everybody else is the drummers breaking down their shit,
Yeah.
the bass player carrying his fucking amp, and
Keyboard
the
player.
vocalist is over there like still talking to people on stage, bringing down opening up his shirt, showing off his chest. He's being all sexy and shit, talking to the girls, and the rest of the band, like the fucking esclavos and shit, taking everything back.
En vez
They're
de
the
que
ones.
se ponga a ayudar.
Yeah, you know, I know some vocalists are gonna get mad, but you know,
Wow.
the band did all the fucking work.
Yeah.
You just got up there and sang and shit.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like, they played the music, they did the guitar solo, the keyboard solo, the drummer did his thing, and the vocalist didn't even, you're like, oh, we're done? He just got unplugged his mic. Yeah, órale. Yeah, he's done. Doesn't even help the other band members. They're like, their fucking backs are hurting, but the vocalist is like, hey, I'll see you guys at rehearsal, bye. That's the chingana, yeah, right? But there's also the other thing too. When you go to play at these bars or clubs, sometimes they want things to be done fast,
Yeah.
right? So they're like, oh, like the people don't see it, but the guy's like on the side of the stage, hurry the fuck up, man! Like, and you're like, fuck, you're taking all your shit, and then you forget things, right? You forget, dude. There's been times where I forgot the keyboard. I forgot the keyboard at the venue.
Oh my
And they're
God.
calling us. They're
Didn't
like,
you forget a capo? The last one.
I forgot. No, I found it. I
You
found it.
Oh.
But when we played the whiskey a go go,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know. The fuck,
How the hell you forget a whole ass
dude, a
keyboard?
whole week went by. They sent me an email
What the hell?
we played on a Saturday, like it was Friday, it was Thursday of the next
Yeah.
week already, and I was like, oh shit. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we rehearsed too. But I didn't even think about the keyboard. But we
Wow.
left it over there. So we had to get somebody a friend of our family that lives in LA to go pick up the
Yeah.
keyboard, and then I had to go pick it up. It was a whole thing. So I mean, shit happens. But let me put it out there too. Like when you have big bands, like bands that are like 3 people, which I've done that. We've done a 3-piece before:
Yeah.
bass, guitar, and drum.
Yep.
You know, so it's respect. You know, but there's a difference between a 3-piece than a fucking band that's got like 8 fucking people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah.
Because we played these shows where they have like it's only us and let's say another band, and they have like 10 fucking rappers, and then the rapper goes on and does their thing for like 10 minutes, dude, and then they want us to do the same. They want us to like, okay, you guys, can you set up in 2 minutes? Are you fucking
No.
crazy? We have all this shit. And then they're like, okay, you guys play
Gotta
5
remove the
songs.
bass amp,
5
the
songs.
guitar
And then
amp.
when the song is done, they're like, can you get the fuck out the way? So
Yeah.
the rapper, like,
Okay,
we're not a fucking rapper, dude.
right,
Like, the
so-
rapper brings their fucking flash drive or their fucking CD. Or now they just go on YouTube, right, and get down their music. But we actually are playing the music live, okay? We don't bring
These
a
are
fucking
facts.
CD.
These are facts.
You know, so no disrespect to the rappers, dude. It's fine. You do you.
Yeah.
But the promoters or the organizers of events,
That
don't
part.
be giving us fucking 2 minutes and then you todavía se enojan and shit. Like, oh, you guys took forever. Why didn't you get up and help us, fat ass? Like, why didn't you
This
get up
is
and
so
help
true.
us?
So, being that I had experience in putting events together, I have told promoters that want to put events together, I'm like, you cannot put 10 entertainers in like 4 hours and think that everything is going to work out smoothly, especially when you have 3 bands and you have all these little entertainments in between. You gotta understand that bands take a while to set up, and then not only that,
Break down too.
you guys have to do mic check. You know,
Yep.
you're not just gonna get on there and start singing and playing, and so they don't understand this in this kind of work.
And if they do, they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, clearly. So one last question, okay? If you guys were on the Titanic,
No shit.
okay? If you guys were on the Titanic, you said guitar,
Bass.
bass player, and let's say one other.
Yeah, drummer.
Right. Would you keep playing if
Oh shit.
you knew that the ship was going down?
I would. I might as well.
You'd play hasta que.
Yeah, until the water got up to me, then I'd run for fucking dear life, try to jump out. I wouldn't go down with the fucking boat, but I would play as long as I could still be playing.
Okay.
And then ya que no se puede, just
Start unplugging shit.
not even, just take the guitar off and fucking swim to safety.
What
What
about
about
you?
He would abandon me. He's like, fuck, I'm out.
Yeah, I would have been.
You would take off.
He's like,
I'm
Go ahead.
Later.
he's like, I love your music, but I don't love it that much.
He's gonna use his guitar to paddle or
Yeah.
to try to float on it.
Yep.
Not really. Knowing him, if he had his bass, he'd be like, his girlfriend's like, I gotta save my bass, man. He let his girlfriend drown. He's like, I'm never gonna find another Variax, dude. That's the thing, cause he loves using Line 6 Variaxes. So and especially if it's the 5-string, he'd be like, hey, you're on your own, dude. I gotta save this bass. He'd be like this, swimming. It'll be the opposite. You know, in Titanic, the lady let the guy die.
Yeah.
So he would let the girlfriend die. He's like, hey, save my bass.
Oh.
She didn't let him die. He wanted to save
Nah,
her.
she's evil, dude. She let him die.
Yeah.
That big old board,
You know
dude.
damn well he fit on there. Yeah, he's right.
Yep. And then at the end of that movie, they show scenes of her living her best life, dude. Being with other boyfriends, flying planes. Forget about her man that she killed, but you know.
She let him die.
Oh my goodness.
If there's any movie that's like super pro women's rights and they're not even like equal. You know how there's a lot of people that are like women's rights is like it's not about women being better than men, it's about being equal. Right?
Right.
But there's 2 movies that are about women. Those people were like all about women. There's Titanic, because she let the guy die. And then the other one, she killed him. And the other one is Forrest Gump, where she like cheats on him. She is all over the world doing drugs.
Wait, how did she cheat on him?
Remember, he loved her, and she would just like be like, okay.
But that's not cheating. They weren't official.
She was like,
couple.
you're so cute, Forrest. You're so cute. Can I have some money? And then she would go, and then she would come back like, "You're a good boy. Thanks for waiting for me."
Like a dog.
Like a dog, dude. And then at the very last time she came back, she's like, "I have cancer or HIV, and I'm about to die.
Yeah.
This baby's yours," but she probably wasn't. But here, and then he's like, "Is he slow like me?" No, because she had sex with some other dude and gave you the baby, dummy. And then it's the nerve of her, dude. So. And this pendejo, he kept begging her. Pero siempre va a haber, like, what do they call them now? Simps?
Yeah.
Siempre va a haber simps that, you know, que se dejan de las mujeres. And there are mujeres también que se dejan del hombre.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's that, you know, you have a girlfriend that's like, you know, calling you all the time that the guy mistreats her, cheats on her, beats her up.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but I stay away because, you know, el camote. El camote pega. El camote pega.
Si no es camote, it's a button on her coat.
See, no, you're right. So, but I'm just saying, like, come on, guys, man. If the girl's telling you que no prende, no prende.
Yeah.
La leña no prende. Stop begging her.
Right.
The same thing for the girl. There's nothing worse than a man or a woman begging somebody, por favor, por favor. Dude, Forrest, she's not into you, bro.
Yep.
She's just not into you.
Yeah.
But, and you know, the sad thing is that in these situations, the man or the woman that they're begging to, they know that they can take advantage of this person.
Yeah.
Because, you know, hey, it's 3:00 in the morning, go bring me a hamburger. Okay, ahí voy. And then the dude gets to her, gives her the hamburger. It's like, okay, shan. Like in the movie from Apocalypto, remember? Shan. Ya trujiste a lo que te truje para la
Only
hamburguesa.
you would think of that. Oh my goodness.
Shing.
Oh my god, I'm dead. Well,
Yeah, dude.
oh my god, I needed this laugh.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys so much for being on here and making this happen. And we're gonna be doing this quite often. We're planning on doing these podcasts slash shows because it's not a radio show, it's a podcast. So we'll be doing these at least once, hopefully twice a month. Yeah, and we're gonna be talking about several topics. So that's why we kind of gave you guys a little intro here towards the end, even though we're like goofing off, but these are like reality topics, so it's good to talk about them, and it's a good, nice little laugh. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys, and I really miss you guys.
Welcome.
We miss you
Okay.
too,
Thank
but
Nice to meet you.
this next program, it should just be like Obsidian Rising production. We're gonna push it out, have guests, do some serious talks,
Yes.
and do some fun talks, because la vida is not all work. La vida is not all pain. It's also laughter and love. A lot of us have, seres queridos that have moved on, but there's respect there. But also remember that you had good times with them, where you laughed, where you were being silly, and that's part of the human experience. Let's not forget that as long as we're here, let's be nice to each other. Let's be good to each other, because en un abrir y cerrar de los ojos, you might not be here tomorrow. And what are you gonna leave? So make sure you leave love. Stand your ground, be who you are, be true to yourself, but also don't forget that, it's so easy to give hate and give fights and arguments and negative stuff. Let's remember to also just give a little love, give a little love to people, and put yourself in their shoes. Sometimes people are in a situation because of them, yes, but sometimes it's also out of their hands. Sometimes they just were dealt a bad set of cards in this life. So, let's just be patient with each other. Let's be understanding to each other. And sometimes it's okay to accept that we disagree, because that's just the way it goes,
Right. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
And
Nice
welcome
meeting you
again
also.
to the band and to the family.
Thank you.
So me despido con esta from Instagram Live, and también nos despedimos de Café, Chisme, Revolución y qué, y hasta la próxima. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.